I will say that the wooden version of this knife uh, did come with substantial gapping in the back. This knife seems to be pretty well put together. There's really good transition from the bolsters to the end caps. Pins are a little proud on it, but not too bad. This center pin on the back sticks out the most, and you can kind of see it sticking out there. So I turn the knife sideways, but the walk and talk of the knife is really good. I do like this steel. This is the older 440 steel, and you can see that these knives are manufactured in China. I personally don't have issues with purchasing a good quality knife, no matter where it was made. So these old timers used to be made in the U.S. This brand has been sold out by to a company called Taylor Brands. They bought the rights to the patterns and the names, and this is a saw cut Delrin handle, and the action on this one's a bit gritty. The blade finish is not as nice, and it's a little bit more than the cost of, say, a Rough Rider, and I think mostly you're just paying for the name when it comes to this Schrade. I wouldn't mind getting an older version of this, but for now this is the one that I have, and it's the Chinese manufactured one. And then this is a Marbles ram's horn knife, and as far as I know, this material, the covers on this, is actual ram's horn. That's what they're made out of. Some of these knives will tell you, that there's stag bone or something like that, and they lead you with the feeling that they might be some type of material that they're not. This one, the pins, the center pin sticks out, and on the back, this pin this pin that's on the knife, or the pen knife end of the knife, sticks out quite a bit, but this one's pretty flush. And the transition from the covers to the bolsters is good on both sides. The material itself, in the right light, is a little bit translucent, so you can see the liners kind of through the handle material. So, but it's got good walk and talk. There was no gapping. Back springs are smooth. It has the ringed and pinched bolsters. Again, no half stops on this one, and also manufactured in China, and from what I'm told, it's actually the same place that the Rough Rider knives are made. Now all these on this side and the one in the back are all Rough Rider knives. This one is one of my most recent canoe knives. It's the copper swirl knife. And sorry, the lighting's not that great, but this knife has started to already pick up a patina on the bolsters. It's got the slant R bolsters. Not crazy about the stamped R on the bolsters, but that's how they come. This one doesn't have a shield on the side, which is kind of nice because we already got the stamped R on the bolster. Walk and talk on this one's really good. It's got the long pull, nail nicks, half stops. You can actually hear the snap that it's got for opening and closing. It's probably about a 6 pull. The pen knife's about a 7. A little gritty on the pen knife, but altogether it was really a fine knife. And then this is an older Rough Rider. It's been around for a little bit. It's the Classic Carbon series. This one is the one that comes with the T10 carbon steel blades, and I brought this pattern in a little bit, or this particular knife in a little bit on the side, because it was so well put together. I would put it up against most of the knives I have, no matter who they were manufactured with. The shield itself sticks out a little bit, but the pins you cannot detect if you were to close your eyes and rub your hands across it. You can't detect the pins. It's got great transition from the covers to the end caps. Really great walk and talk. It's about a 7 pull. Really solid lockup, and just probably one of my best put together canoes that I have. And for a fraction of the cost of some of the other ones that you can purchase out there. Really well put together. Highly recommend this. A lot of people don't care for the yellow plastic, and while others just think that that's great because it's very traditional and kind of old school. So just put that one down there. Now back here, these two in the back, I brought these examples out to show you. This one is the cinnamon stag bone, and I'm not sure if you can pick it up in the light, but this is Damascus steel blade, and it's pretty well put together. Again, great walk and talk. It's got the half stops, long pulls, slant R bolsters. The stag bone is pretty nice. There's no gapping in it. Again, this is one of those that I was talking about where you have natural bone that's been used to try and worked to try to make it look like something else. So this is supposed to resemble sandbar stag antler, just a gnarly stag. But one thing you'll notice with these knives, especially if you look at them online, the jigging of them, while it looks random, is repetitive. In fact, if you look at this side and study that picture for a minute, and then look at this side, you'll see that it's actually the exact same jigging that they did on both sides. And they do this with all their knives. They have one pattern, and it looks very random, but if you put two of them together, you can tell that they did the same jigging on all of them. So, but if you only have the one example, no one's ever going to know that, and it is a fine looking knife. However, if you want to see the difference, this knife is a very old production Rough Rider. It's even got the circle Rough Rider shield that you can see right there. But this one is actually genuine stag. This one is not imitation. It's a real stag. These are very hard to come by in the Rough Rider because they didn't make a lot of them, and it was very limited as to how long they put them together. Now this one's got the match strike nail nicks rather than the long pulls. You do not have half stops. Typically on these older knives, you're not going to find the half stops, and they are going to have nail nicks, and they're typically thinner because the blade stock and the spring stock is thinner than on the newer ones. But this one I was able to pick up on secondary market on eBay, and I was very glad to add that one to the collection because, again, those stag ones are very, very, very difficult and hard to come by. But I know this is running into we're running into 10 minutes. I just want to thank you for stopping by, spending a few minutes here. This video's dedicated to New Jersey knife guy Pete, because he's been asking me to get some videos up for quite a long time now. So, and Pete, I did want to show you that I do actually have the cinnamon stag bone canoe that you're searching for. But I want to thank you all for your time, and I hope you have a nice day. Take care.